Hello everyone, Mark here, Mark's Max Muscle, and we are taking a look at two very recent Pro Show winners in Iain Valliere. This is him at the Texas Pro, although I will be using maybe two poses from the Tampa Pro, which was only a week before, so really, how much different could he be? A little bit different, actually. But anyway, Nathan DeAsha, he just won the Europa Spain or the Europa Pro, whichever you do prefer. But both of these guys, they're going to the Olympia. And of course, Rolly placed second to Nathan, and he is headed to the Olympia as well. But I guess it's more interesting to compare the Pro Show winners. And food for thought, maybe if this is something you guys want to see, I think I might do a video, not a comparison video, but a ranking from all of the Pro Show winners. Not the guys that are headed to the Olympia due to their top 5 placings or their points, but just the Pro Show winners from this year. Do a ranking. What do you guys think? Anyway, I did enough comparisons between all of these guys to know where I'm going to stack them. Front double bicep pose. This is very interesting. Nathan DeAsha. These guys are close to being the same height. I believe Nathan is a little bit shorter, 5'10" maybe, and to Iain's 5'11". But having said that, Iain stands up very straight in this. He goes very straight-legged, straight torso, things of that nature. And Nathan rather, you can see he holds his head back. You know what I'm saying, guys? He minimizes his height. And I like that. I like that. It takes away his long torso. A lot of you guys criticize that. Hey, I don't mind. I think Nathan has a better flow in this one. Kudos to Iain. Iain actually improved his arm development in a shot like this compared to his last performance. I've seen some earlier on performances of Iain where his arms were actually quite good indeed. But anyway, it looks like he's getting back to his form as far as that shot is concerned. But still, I would give it to Nathan. Now, the front lat spread. This is Iain's strongest pose, hands down, in my opinion. Hey, I like his side poses, but this one here, it takes the cake, in my opinion. He actually, put him up in any lineup, really. And he can stand toe-to-toe with just about anybody. The only thing that I do notice, everything is so big and impressive, it draws out that weakness in the calves. Now, some of the back shots, or the two back shots, he kind of gets away with it. It's not too bad, but from the front, guys, his quads are so tremendous, our Iain Valliere's, that yes, I do see the calves. But having said that, guys, the upper body, I think, is enough to defeat pretty much anybody, including Nathan DeAsha. But here's the thing. Some of you guys will give this one to Nathan. Not me. I'll go on record in saying Iain cleans up on a pose like this. But Nathan DeAsha, more complete when you look at the calves, of course. And, he has a few goodies. His chest, far superior. Look at that chest of Nathan DeAsha. Wow. Some of the best that the IFBB ever had to offer in Nathan DeAsha, his big pecs. So you can imagine, when you turn to the side, that Nathan will have an edge as far as at least the chest is concerned. I would say. Now, the rest of the physique, Iain looks pretty good. Iain. Should we call him Iain from now on? Iain. Is he from England? Actually, Nathan's from the UK, to tell you the truth. And Iain, he's a Canadian, don't you know, eh? Ooh, that stings, eh? They don't, with them Canadians, the Canucks, they don't like to get tans because it's winter all the time, right? Anyway, Nathan, like I said, I think he's just too strong in the pecs, and as well in the arm development, I would say Nathan has an edge. Wheels, of course. Iain, aside from the calves, he looks tremendous. He always maximizes his height. And yes, I made him 2, maybe even 3 inches taller. Because of that, Iain, his far leg, you can see, it's not as bent as Nathan's. Big Nathan DeAsha. So Nathan gets an edge. The side tricep, This one's pretty close, to be honest with you. To be honest with you, the tricep itself, when you individualize the arm, Nathan might have an edge. It's close, though. The rest of the physique, chest included, actually, I think Iain looks pretty darn good. Iain, no disrespect to you, big man. Fellow Canuck. Yeah, even in the chest, the abs, midsection, I think Valliere might get that point back that I had him lose in the side chest development. Hey, I understand Iain, he's somewhat of a bad guy, I guess. You get all sports, you have good guys and bad guys, things of that nature. I think he is a good bad guy. He's hard to defeat. He wins pro shows constantly. You know, and I call it like it is. And the guy's fantastic. Now, the back development, Iain is admittedly, it's a weak point for him. I mean, he still stands up against the other guys. But he, you know, even in an interview, he said his back's one of his weaker points. And he is working on it. I'm not hating on the guy. He has a very long, lagged structure and a short torso. And the short torso is drawn out in the back shots. It helps you to have a longer torso. And when you look at Nathan DeAsha, that's, you know, hey, Iain's holding his own. Iain's awesome, you know, as far as that's concerned. But you really look at the detail, the traps, muscle separation, and Nathan DeAsha, I would give him an edge. In particular, the tops of the traps. Look at that. Fantastic. Nathan, his back, hey, put a little bit of meat on this, it's top 10. He has the calves included as well, guys. Condition for condition, it's close, and Iain, you have to have that really good high-definition pictures to see his true condition, because he doesn't have a whole lot of muscle separation, to be honest with you, in his glutes or his hamstrings. It's the hard graininess that he has to get, much like a big Ramy, to be honest. But having said that, Nathan might have a better back. Go to the rear double. And Iain, not bad in this shot, not too bad. He needs to have lower lat insertions, of course. But that's a genetic thing, guys. You can't just, you know, complain about these guys. Oh, he needs this, he needs that. You can't get it if you don't have it, like calves. I mean, I'm sure the guy works on his calves diligently. And Nathan DeAsha, he might not have to work on his calves so much, but he does too. And he has genetically fantastic calves. And I think it's just a better shot overall when you look at the lower lat insertions, things of that nature, taking into consideration the conditioning's pretty equal. I'm honestly giving Nathan an edge in both of the back shots. And considering the last couple of shots, well, at least this pose is not Iain's strongest. He really needs to be winning heading into these last couple of poses. And to be honest, Nathan DeAsha, I love his abs and thigh. I love it. And he does go to the side too, but this one here, this is his best bet. I think this is one of his finest shots. He's a pretty all-around athlete, though, is Nathan DeAsha. He doesn't really have any true standout poses, but they're all really, really good. And this one, maybe his standout pose. Good back development as well. I mean, the guy's all around. And Iain, he's considers himself pretty good all around. I think for the most part, he has a pretty good shot. A little weak on the back. And the abs and thigh is a weak pose for him, with all due respect. But I gotta call it like it is. And Nathan definitely winning this shot. Now, the most muscular, hey, Iain's holding his own. Against the much superior packed UK-ite. UK Iain? A UK person. Sounds like I was asking Iain if he was okay. A UK Iain, like a Canadian. Are you okay, Iain? Iain is quite fine. Winning 2 pro shows in a row. Couple of big checks for his wallet. And no, I don't feel bad for the other guys. No, I don't feel bad. Hey, he's a pro bodybuilder. You compete to win shows, like Nathan DeAsha. And if Nathan was there, he wouldn't have won. That's right, I'm giving the win to Nathan DeAsha. He's a little more all-around. And I waited to the end to even mention this because I didn't want to go on and on about it. The lighting was terrible at the Europa Pro, and you can't see conditioning as well. You have to really zoom in, and if the lighting was similar, I think Nathan DeAsha would be a standout winner. But hey, that's just me. We'll find out at the Olympia, because, the lighting is going to be the same. Hit thumbs up on the video if you did enjoy it, and you enjoyed my banter on this, my judging, my views on this. And subscribe to the channel if you've not already. All kinds of videos, guys. Comparisons and maybe a ranking of all the pro show winners this year. I mean, you got Regan Grimes in there, James Hollingshead, a whole bunch of them. Patrick Moore too. Anyway, have a great day, guys.